The result, Patrick, looked very similar to what we have seen over the course of the entirety of 2024, going back into 2023. But the way that Scottie did it, particularly on the greens, looked a little bit different. He introduced us to the claw grip on Thursday, and it seemed like he would use it maybe 10 feet and in, maybe 12 feet and in. He doesn't have an exact science to it. He still lags it up there with a traditional putting stroke, but has gotten more comfortable using the claw for some of those 50-50 putts. Maybe they're 40-60 putts. And the stats are very good in favor of this. So for the week, again, small sample size, finished third in the field in strokes gained putting. If he adds that element to the game in 2025, let's just call it now.
It's over. It's over if that happens. Let's dive into those numbers a little more. So Data Golf tweeted out earlier in the week, in 2024, from 30 plus feet, Scottie Scheffler was 11th out of 203 players. From 5 to 30 feet, he was 72nd. From 2 to 5 feet, 157th in the world.
Yeah. Remember, that also passes the eye test. How many times would we come on here after a round and say Scottie made 9 birdies and he missed 22 inches or something like that?
And so you go into this week's, beyond just ranking third in strokes gained putting, he was number 1 inside 10 feet. He was number 1 approach putting, i.e. lag putting. His speed today was chef's kiss. So good. Everything was a tap in from distance, and he was perfect inside 5 feet this week. If that happens on a somewhat more consistent basis in 2025, oh my goodness, 2024 could be an appetizer.
Well, what you say there is so true. And I just want to add to that. I don't see a reason, unless he gets injured, that it's unlikely to happen, because as far as the mental game goes and the way he comports himself and the way golf just looks like he's going out to play golf with his buddies and he doesn't give a stuff. I mean, you could watch everyone else there, how you could see the try in them, like Keegan, obviously. Justin Thomas, you can see this. You can see all of them trying to win tournaments. And Scottie's like, oh, well, I'm going to hit a few shots and grab a trophy at the end of it all. So I honestly don't think, because of that mental approach, because of the fact that he seems completely unfazed, and then he's got this golf swing that, despite all the footwork, doesn't put too much pressure on his body. So I don't see any reason why he won't. Because you're right. Now, granted, these greens are slow, so ordinarily that makes lag putting a little easier. But he didn't look like there was a weakness at all to me.
And he comes into every week without the pressure. The pressure's on everyone else to beat Scottie Scheffler. And he's just cruising along. And you know he's going to be there on Sunday.
But isn't it amazing? Sorry, Greg, I'll tee you up with this. Isn't it amazing how a lot of his peers, I'm thinking of Rory, and I'm thinking of Xander, and these guys, the major champions, JT, the guys who are supposed to win more majors, all of his contemporaries, it's like they are battling with their own destiny. And it's like there's this invisible something that they're competing against, where Scottie doesn't look like he's got that issue. Now, maybe he does. He just does a great job of kind of keeping that under wraps somewhere. But like Rory, you'll see it at the Masters. He'll get there and you'll see he's a different cat. And Scottie just the same guy week in and week out.
He does these things almost to a fault, where he just does what he does over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And he has an ability to block out results and outcomes, which is something that the sports psychologist will tell you to do, but nobody really can do. It's very difficult to do. Scottie actually does it. You know, he does all the things that the sports psychologist would say you have to do to be successful. And it gets to the point, starting probably 2 years ago, where the difference between Scottie winning nearly every time he tees it up and not is what he does inside of 5 feet. 5 feet. We've talked about this a lot. This is the area. This is what you have to improve on to be like the greatest player of all time, or let's say have one of the greatest seasons of all time. That's what you have to do. Okay, well, let's try a claw. Why not? He should have done this. He should have switched to the claw last year. Everything worked out. I think he'll take what he's got. Apparently he's griping. He and Tiger were griping about not making enough money this year. Jokingly. But it's unbelievable, and it is a real feat. You have this inevitability with his tee to green performance, and it blows my mind that the difference between a 6-shot win and coming in second or tied third is putting inside of 5 feet. Any of us could improve that.
He should put the blade back in the bag just for fun at this point.
Just to make it a little more difficult.
Let's get 2 major. After 2 majors, he can do that.
Jay Monahan's going to send him an email. Be like, put the blade back in the bag. We need a little more parity on the PGA Tour, a little more excitement.
But you know what? It's funny you say that, because to Greg's quip about the claw, here he's trying something. From what I understand, he broke it out earlier this week, unless this is one of the things he's been working on during his fall. And so he's out there with a claw, and he just looked like he took to it like a duck to water. So, I mean, I'm sure right now with the confidence the way it's going, he could putt with a broomstick and be fine. It is just crazy to see the level that he's playing at. And comparisons are made to Tiger, rightfully so, and that's difficult for Scottie to wear. But Scottie seems cool with it. And where Tiger, you kind of knew he wanted to win. Scottie he wants to win as well. But it's amazing how he just seems so laissez-faire about the thing when he's out there in the final round.
He could still laugh about the Tiger comparisons. Right, they're still such a long way away. He can laugh those off. Like the guys at 80, this is what Scottie could say. The guys at 82, I'm at 13. Right. What are you talking about here? It's very easy he's got 15 majors. I've got 2. Very easy to brush those things off. I think that's an advantage for Scottie in that department.
But he's about to overtake one of the greats in Nick Faldo in terms of consecutive weeks in a row at world's number 1. I think it's just a couple more weeks or maybe one more before he overtakes Faldo. Then the only guys in front of him are Greg Norman and Tiger Woods. And the way he's going right now with the points he's accumulating, I think Greg Norman, Scottie's closer than what he appears in Greg Norman's rear view, as opposed to as it pertains to just the length of time spent at the world's number 1 player.
According to Wikipedia, which is always 100% accurate, I believe he's going to overtake Nick Faldo on Monday, tomorrow.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
I believe that's correct.
They are tied right now. So when the new rankings come out tomorrow, that'll be 82 weeks for Scottie. It'll break the tie. And then he'll have about 15 more weeks until he gets to Greg Norman, which will he could not play and stay there. So that's a given. And then he's got a few more 100 to get to a couple of Tiger runs there. But Scottie Scheffler, depending on how you count him, an 8-time or 9-time winner this year, just a little bit more business to do with Rory McIlroy going up against Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau next week in Las Vegas. We've got a lot more to get to